Excuse me, ma'am. The tour guide said that we had to group up, and couldn't help but notice that you don't have a partner. And as it were, I seem to be in the same boat. So, what do you say, partner? It don't matter to you. Well, I appreciate the warm welcome. So, did you have anything specific that you wanted to see, or you just kind of want to wander around? I didn't really come here with anything specific in mind that I wanted to see. Mostly just looking for, I guess you could call it inspiration. Yeah, I guess you could say I'm a creative type of sorts. Although I don't really consider it an art or anything. I'm sure most other people would agree with me. My name's John, by the way. I guess we kinda skipped the formalities there. Not a handshaker, I take it. That's fine. Nah, it doesn't offend me none. And what may I call you? You know, just in case I get into some catastrophic accident and I have to scream a name, it's probably best to know the name of the person who I'm screaming for. Well, like I said, it's a pleasure to meet you. Right, no handshaking. Sorry, force of habit. So, let's say we start heading in this direction and see what sort of trouble we can get ourselves into. I know you said you didn't have anywhere specific in mind, but when all else fails, pick a direction and go. You just want to find a coffee shop to be able to sit and read your book. Couldn't you have just done that at home? I thought the whole point of traveling was... You know what? I didn't have any better suggestions on the table, so coffee shop it is. So, what do you have? Well, obviously I'm gonna buy it for you. You were kind enough to have mercy on me and partner up with a total stranger, so the least I can do is buy you a drink. It also gives me an opportunity to find out a little bit more about you. I don't like to pry and ask a lot of private questions, but I think you can learn a lot from someone's coffee order. Like me, for example. I am the stereotype to the truest degree. Go ahead. Just take a look at me and see if you can guess. See, I told you it wasn't hard. You got it. Black coffee it is. Every now and then I might mix it up and add some cream and sugar, but for the most part I like my coffee straight. Of course, I'm a little out of my element here. Seems to be that anywhere outside of America, it's pretty hard to find just a standard cup of coffee. And I know people say, well, you've got the Americano, but it's just not the same. Anyways, you don't want to hear me whinging about something so small. But yes, coffee. We're not talking about my drink order, we're talking about yours. So what do you have? Interesting. No, I didn't say there was anything wrong with it, just I didn't expect that answer. You're an interesting one, I'll give you that. Alright, I've got my mission, I've got my orders. I'll be back in just a moment. Here you go. One for you. And one for me. I ended up getting something called a Turkish coffee, which to my knowledge is basically the same thing as a black coffee, except I have the added pleasure of getting to pick granules of coffee out of my teeth for the next 4 hours. So, that's the book. Interesting choice. Have I read it? In a manner of speaking, yes. That one's not too bad. I'm always more of a fan of his earlier books. His newer stuff, I kind of wonder if he's not a little too pretentious at times. It's wonderful. Well, as long as you like it, I suppose. Still like the coffee, by the way. I know I'm talking about it way too much. Nasty little habit of where I come from. We just can't help ourselves with small talk. I can be quiet if you'd like to just focus on your book. So, where are you at in it? Aha. The prince just challenged the Duke to a duel. That's a decent part. Finally have some action in it. Though I kind of wonder if it didn't drag a little bit leading up to it. You know? I mean, I know there obviously has to be a build-up for dramatic tension, but still, probably could have saved a few pages. The part where she finds out that the Duke likes apple pie, and so she spends a couple pages learning how to make one is fun, but maybe unnecessary. Although it does come back up a little bit later whenever they're... Sorry. Don't want to give spoilers. What am I doing? Sorry, was I staring? Nasty little habit of mine. I find myself staring at things I find to be, pretty. Well, yes, I was staring at you. Like I said, pretty things. I also couldn't help but notice you have a pretty adorable habit yourself. You know that you move your mouth whenever you read, almost as if you're mouthing out the words in your head. You don't gotta be embarrassed. It's cute. I like it. You also raised your eyebrows whenever you got to the end of the duel. At least, I'm assuming that's where you are based on your reaction. Yeah, I did say I read it in a manner of speaking. I'm quite familiar with the story. You might even say that I wrote it. Yep, that one's mine. Not my best work, I admit, but this is the strangest way that anyone's ever tried to pick you up. And how often do people try to pick you up? Well, you are pretty. We've already established that. So I don't think it's too far of a stretch for me to assume that it probably happens all the time. No. Well, then I consider myself lucky for having less competition. You think I'm lying? I'm not really sure why I'd be lying about being an author. If I was going to lie about what I do for a living, I'd pick something a lot more interesting than squirreling myself away in my house writing smut novels. I'd probably pick something like astronaut. I don't know. That seems cool, right? women aren't that impressed by astronauts. Yeah, maybe not. Prove it? I guess that's fair. I think I got my driver's license in here. Hopefully I didn't leave it back at home. Aha. There you go. Yep, John Gray right there. Why do you look so shocked? I'm guessing you had a different image in your mind of what I'd be like. I guess it's hard to imagine a honky-tonk individual like myself writing stories about knights and princesses and forbidden romance. But what can I say? I like what I like. And if a pretty young lady like yourself enjoys my stories, then I'd say I'm doing all right. But I see you're pretty much finished with your coffee. Let's say we get up and walk around a little bit more and find other interesting places for you to sit and read your book. I can just follow along and watch you read, if that's okay with you. Kind of a strange first date, maybe, but I admit, I like the fact it's unorthodox. Makes it more interesting. And, hopefully, we can get to know each other a little bit more along the way. What do you say?